rules. If everybody could please mute their microphones, except for the person who's on at the moment. So I'm starting, and Eitan Cantor is our chazan for Kabbalat Shabbat. When our davening part is over, then you'll be all welcome to unmute yourself to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Eitan, are you shaking your head that you don't hear me?
I'm not the chazan.
Okay, you're. Oh, that's tomorrow night. You're tomorrow night. Yeah, Ari Cohn is our chazan today. Sorry, Ari. Is Ari here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So at the conclusion of the davening, then we can all unmute. But otherwise, we'll keep it. And I'm not able to control that today. We went through some upgrades in the program, but I think maybe my hosting privilege got lost in the interim there. And I just want to remind everybody that our kavana in this program is that we're not accepting Shabbos until we put away electronic equipment and we say Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat, because we stopped the davening before that. I also would like to remind everybody, well, we have the Havdalah service at 8:45 tomorrow evening. I know many of you were there last week. Hope you'll join us again. We could spread the word. And Sunday morning, we have our special guest, Rabbi David Stav, who will be speaking to us specifically to the Torah Or community, though it may be broadcasted in other communities as well, because we gave permission to that. But it's our own special guest in these quasi-scholarly residents. Originally was supposed to be with us for this Shabbos as part of our connection with the Religious Zionists of America and World Mizrahi. But we will have a slice of that experience Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Very, very special person, Rabbi Stav, a major figure in Israel today and emerging similarly throughout the world. Now, I want to share with you a story. The story comes out of experiences that Rabbi Silberstein had. Many of you are aware that I often teach shilas that are presented to Rabbi Silberstein. They turn out often to be very connected, to modern life and contemporary dilemmas that require a halachic decision. And this is the same, although it didn't come out of one of his established Svarim books that I have, but I came across it in another source. One day, this young man, young, but has a family, has children already. Are you saying louder? So this young man has, I see, anybody, do you hear better? I think, Herschel, are you telling me that you can't hear? Is it better now?
Rabbi, you are loud enough. It's just not everybody is muted. That's all.
Okay. So this young married man with a family comes into Rabbi Silberstein. He is visibly upset. And he shares with Rabbi Silberstein that something has happened in his house, which is troubling him deeply. And he's coming for some advice and opportunity to speak it over with Rabbi Silberstein. And he tells Rabbi Silberstein that lately a bird, a tzipor, a bird flew into his living room. And he would go and he would shoo it away. And then like 2-3 minutes later, the bird comes back. He shoos it away. It goes out of the apartment. 2-3 minutes, again, it's back. And this happens multiple times in a day. And it's happened on multiple days. And he tells Rabbi Silberstein, to tell you the truth, Rabbi Silberstein, he says, it's not that I, my wife, or my children, we're not afraid of the bird, but we're afraid of why the bird's there. Please remember to mute your microphones if they're not yet muted. And he says that he's worried. He's worried that maybe the bird is coming to tell him something, and somehow it's like a siman, a sign from heaven about something. But the whole family is getting so disturbed by the presence of this bird that he's getting to the point that he's actually thought that if he could catch the bird, he would actually kill the bird and try to put an end to what's happening. And Rabbi Silverstein says to him, you know, you just said to me that you think that this bird has a message for you. If you kill the bird, you may not get the message. He says, you know, it makes me think of this man who he bought a new car, and he's only 2 weeks the owner of the car, and he's driving, and all of a sudden there appears on his dashboard a warning light. And he has no idea what that warning light means. He's never seen it before. He hasn't read the manual, and he keeps on driving. And you know, when he stops his car and he goes off, he starts his next leg of his trip. The warning light comes back on. He has no idea. He's driving, and he's bothered by it, but he doesn't know what to do. So you know, he's thinking maybe I should just take a hammer and smash the you know, the dashboard and get rid of that sign. And Rabbi Stone says, you know, what good is that going to do, right? It's not going to help the problem. And if he ignores what the message light is trying to tell him, the problem is only going to get worse and might actually disable his car at an inopportune time or an inopportune situation. And why would one want to do that? And Rabbi Silverstein says to him, I don't really know what all this means, but you definitely don't want to get rid of the signal. You want to do something about the signal. And the gentleman said, thank you to Rabbi Silverstein. He already had it in his mind. He realized that maybe his family is engaged in too much lashon hara. Inappropriate speech that is to the detriment of another or others. And how did he reach that conclusion most likely? That's from this week's parsha. Because a person who has tsara'as, our parshas are Tazria Mitzorah, a person with tsara'as, what we call a ritual leprosy, the most prevalent cause of tsara'as, this spiritual leprosy, is the speaking of lashon hara. And when the person who has developed this tsara'as is ready to be purified, that the way that the skin ailment developed, that he's reached the point of purification, his first stage is that he has to have 2 birds, tziporim, 2 birds brought for the initial process. And in that process, 1 bird will be slaughtered, and the other bird, together with the other items specified in the parsha, are to be dipped in the blood of the slaughtered bird. And then that bird is set out free. So the birds can be a sign of lashon hara. And indeed, this young father, husband and father, he and his family committed to eliminating lashon hara. And when they were into that routine, the bird never appeared again. He reported back to Rabbi Silverstein. You know, one of the things in the Torah story. Now, obviously, we're not necessarily expecting birds to be flying into our house. It could happen, We're not expecting it, but we don't need it to come into our house. We are at a time that we're all trying to increase our merits, to bring more bracha, a blessing to us. So we should look for ways that we can enhance what we are already doing and eliminate anything that should be eliminated. And unfortunately, the challenge of Lashon Hara for a lot of us is maybe it's a candidate for the hardest mitzvah in the Torah to observe properly. But just because it's hard doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing it. So let's dedicate ourselves this Shabbos as Parshas Tazria Mitzorah as we go through some of the halachas, the episode of someone who develops tzara'as, which is a spiritual disease coming from a spiritual deficiency. Let's commit ourselves to improving our mitzvahs, to shy away from any compromises we may have allowed into our lives, and very, very specifically, to reduce Lashon Hara. The less Lashon Hara there is, the more shalom there is, because Lashon Hara causes discord between people and ruins people's lives as well. The less Lashon Hara, the more shalom. The more shalom, the more bracha, the more blessing we have. And I think all of us would welcome as much blessing as possible. Let's have a beautiful Shabbos, and Ari will please lead us in Kabbalat Shabbat. Make sure your microphone is turned on, Ari.
Okay. Yedid nefesh avarach amon mishach avdecha el ritzonecha yarutz avdecha kimo ayol yishtachaveh el mul adorecha Yerav lo yedidotecha Ninofes sof v'chol toam Adonai ziv haolam Nafshi cholas avosecha Anoel Rifala Beharos lo Zivecha Positis Kazek Vetish Rapek Kawai Solah Simcha Solah Vosik Yemuna Rakamecha V'chusana Al Beinahu V'cho Ki Zekamo Nixaf Nixafti Ve'eros Meira V'siferes Uzecho Elech Ramda Libi V'chosana Ve'al Tisalem Igoleno Intros Chavivi Olai Es Sukas Shilomecho Zohir Eretz Mikvodecho Lo Agila V'nismechava Ma'erev Kivamoe V'chaneinu Kimei Olam. And I ask everybody to please mute themselves. People who aren't muted, we hear them talking.
Rabbi Yasker now has the ability to mute everybody. If he could do that, it would be helpful.
All right.
Thank you. L'Adonai, l'Adonai, Noriya, Letzor Yishayno, Nekadmo Fono, Besado, Bizmiros, Noriya, no. Arbaim Shana Akod Bedo Omar Am Toei Legove Lo Yodo Derachai Asher Nishbati Be'api Im Yevon El Menuchosi Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadosh Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Baruch Shemo Bas Miyom Yeshua So Zapro Vagoyim Kivodo Bechol Amim Niflosov Ki Gadol Adonai Umhulamon Noro Akol Elohim Ki Kol Elohei Amim Elilim Adonai Shomayim Osov Od Vehador Lifonov Oz V'Sifares B'Mikdasho Avul Adonai Mishpachos Amin Avul Adonai Kavod V'Oz Avul Adonai Kivod Shimo Zumincho V'Olachatros Shtakavu Adonai Be'adras Kodesh Chilu Niponov Kol Retz Imru Vagoyim Adonai Moloch Aftikon Tevel Baltimo Yodin Amim B'Meishorim Yislechu Hashemayim V'Sogel Haaretz Yiram Hayam U'Miloro Yalos Sodai B'Chol Asher Bo Oz Yiranenu Kol Hatzei Yoar Lifnei Adonai Kivo Lishpal Haaretz Yishpal Tevel B'Tzedek Ve'amim B'Emunoso. Adonai Baruch Hu. Ovei Adonai Shinuro Shomer Nafshos Kasidov Yad Rishoim Yatzilei Zoru Ala Tzadik Uli Yisraelei V'Simcha Simchu Tzadikim B'Adonai V'Avdu L'Zecher Kodsho Mizmor Shir Adonai Shir Kadosh Kinefos Oso. Yeramayam Malowo, Kevel V'Yoshevevo, Norosim Kauchov, Yachad Horim Yeranegu, Lifnei Adonai Kivo, Lishpot Haaretz, Yishpot et Tevel B'Tzedek, Yamim B'Meishorim. Ba'amorona yedaber aleim, shomru edosov, v'chok nosan lomo. Adonai Eloheinu ato anisom, el noseo yiso lohem, enokem al alilosom. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, v'ishtachavu lahar kodesho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Mizmor leDavid, avul Adonai b'nei Elim, avul Adonai kavod. Avul Adonai kevod shemo, v'shtakavu l'Adonai b'adras kodesh, kol Adonai al hamoyim, el hakavodim, Adonai Yamayim Rabim, Kol Adonai Bakawa, Kol Adonai Be'odo, Kol Adonai Shaver Arozim, Veshaber Adonai Esarzei Halvonom, Vayakidem Kimo Egel Levanon Vesiriel Kimo Ben Re'emi, Kol Adonai Chotei Lavosesh, Kol Adonai Yochil Midbar, Yochil Adonai Midbar Kodesh, Kol Adonai Yecholel HaYolos, Vayechesof Yeros, Uveicholo Kulo Mekovo, Adonai Lama Yoshov, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz La'amo Yitei, Adonai Yevoneh Es Amo V'Shalom. Lechododi likras kalo, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Lechododi likras kalo, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Shomo v'zochor v'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el ha'miyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushma echad, L'shem Luciferes v'l'sila, Lechadavdi likras kala, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Lechadavdi likras kala, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Likras Shabbos lechu v'nei lecha, Ki mekor Amirocha, Merodem Mesucha, Sof Ma'aseh Machashava Techila, Lechadavdi likras kala, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Lechadavdi likras kala, P'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha, Komitzei Mito Afecho, Valoch Sheves Ve'emek Abocho, והוא יחכמו עולייכם לו. לך דודי לקראת קלו, בני שבוס יקבלו. לך דודי לקראת קלו, בני שבוס יקבלו. Isnari may offer to me, if she big day, sifar tekami, al yad ben ishai, be salachmi, korvo nafshi geolo, lefadaldi lekras kalo, b'nei Shabbos kabelo. Lefadaldi lekras kalo, b'nei Shabbos kabelo. It's over, Shiva ore, Kumi ori, Uri, Shir dameri, Shivo dadonoi, Olayich nidlo, Lefadaldi lekras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Lefadaldi lekras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nikabelo. Lo sevoshi, v'lo sikolmi, ma tishokati, o matemi, bo yekesu, ani eyami, v'nivniso, iralti lo. Lechododi, lekras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nekabelo. Oyuk l'chisa, shasoyek, v'rochaku kol mevaloyek, yosis olayek, eloyek, kim sostoson alkalo. Lechododi, likras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nekabelo. Yomin usmol tifroti, ve'ez Adonai tariti, al yadish ben parti, ve'nismecha v'nogilo. Lechododi, likras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nekabelo. Boi v'sholom ateres valo, gam b'simcho u'b'tzolo, o kenunei am segulo, boi chalo, lechododi, likras kalo, b'nei Shabbos nekabelo. Alay, 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 alay,
Yashikayach to you, Ari Cohn, for leading us in davening. A good Shabbos, a good Chodesh to everybody. Please remember, Rosh Chodesh davening inserts Ya'aleh V'Yavo tonight in the Shemona Esrei. Again, you're welcome to join us Motzei Shabbos for our Havdalah program. We have a Pirkei Avot class, 10 o'clock, other classes, daily classes, and 11 o'clock on Sunday. Rabbi Stav, Chief Rabbi of Shoham and the Chairman of the Tzohar Rabbinical Association organization. Please do join us. Have a wonderful, wonderful
Shabbos, Rabbi.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, good Shabbos, Rabbi.
Rabbi Ari.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom.
Good job.
Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody.
Good
Shabbos,
job.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, Rabbi.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos, Chazan.
Shabbos and good Chodesh.
Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos, Chazan. Good Chodesh.
Shabbos, everybody.
We meeting.
Ari, your father's neshama should have an aliyah.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank
Ari,
you.
that's wonderful.
Rabbi, good Shabbos.
Good
Good Shabbos,
Shabbos.
Rabbi.
Good Shabbos. Good
Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, Rabbi
Shabbos.
Robertson.
Good
Shabbos.
Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
I hate to leave, but I gotta go.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, okay.
Okay. Shabbat shalom. Chodesh
Shabbat
tov,
shalom,
everyone.
everybody.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shkoach, Ari.
Yes, Yasher Koach. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Annie.
Okay,
Shabbat
we're
shalom,
going to-
Mrs.
We're going to sign off. Have a
Okay,
beautiful,
Shabbat shalom.
beautiful Shabbos.
Have
and
a beautiful
good-
Shabbos. We'll see you
Good new
Saturday
month
night.
ahead. We should hear Besorot Tovot. All the good news
Amen.
that we're waiting to hear. We should be able
Amen,
to hear this
everybody.
wonderful
Amen.
month of Iyar.
Okay. Bye, Rabbi.
Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos. Bye, Mrs. Petra. Bye, everybody.
And a Chodesh Tov.
Notice talk to everyone too, yeah.
All good things.
Right.
Okay. Shabbat
Okay,
shalom.
shalom. Good
Chodesh
Yom Tov.
Tov.
Okay.